Welcome back to Shame-Ful Locks. My name is Gabriel Costa. This is my co-host, Blake Profio. We are here for another week of the N.F.L. season, here for week 7 of the 2023 season. Last week, not too hot. We'll talk about that here in a minute, but we're recording a little early. And when I say early, I mean like an hour early. We usually record at halftime during the Thursday night game, but today we are recording before the game. Tonight, the Jaguars are traveling to the Saints and are playing. I think the Saints are favored by 1.5 or something like that right now, and the over-under is like 41. Blake, you got any, again, no, just for fun, Blake, you got any thoughts on the game? You got any quick little tidbits?
I think it's gonna be a close game. I still think the Jags will pull it out. Maybe like a field goal to win it at the end, but the Saints are good, but they're not playoff caliber like I think the Jags are. So
yeah, so I assume Trevor Lawrence is playing fucking Trev. Love him, but mostly because I have a season-long bet on him of the Jags to win 10 games. But yeah, I like field goals on the game tonight. Just going to be low scoring, I think. I'm also going with Travis Etienne under yards. Again, that's just for fun. I look forward to getting my old takes exposed here when this video does publish. But that's for another time. That's future Gabe's problem, not current Gabe's problem. Current Gabe's problem is going over last week's record, which we didn't. Sorry, I say we, I mean me. Gabe did not look good at all. Another 0-3 week for Gabe, and it was brutal. I like to be transparent, and I will always be transparent whether I win or lose. I went 0-3, and we'll go quickly here. Vikings at Bears over 44.5 points, not even close. Justin Fields got hurt. Final score was 19-13. Vikings win. Damn it. Bad game. Michael Thomas over 49.5 receiving yards. That was pretty close. He ended at 45, which right on the hook there for me. But again, loser, an L. And then lastly, I did a little for my lock. I did a little bit of a same game parlay. 49ers and Dolphins both to win by 6.5 points. 49ers lost. Screw you, Browns. That's what I get for talking shit. And then the Dolphins did their job against the Panthers, so half win. But you know what that counts as? Minus a unit. So if you tailed my picks last week, you went 0-3. You lost 3 units. It was probably the most demoralizing day of gambling I've ever had. I piss poor. I had spent 3 weeks building back up to get close to that positive number, and I go right back down. 3 weeks of work down the drain. I did a lot of research and a lot of statistics last week, and I'm moving away from that a little bit to see if we get a different result. So you'll see that reflected in my picks. I am now. I moved all the way back from like minus down 5 units to like minus like 1.25 last week. But I am now back down to minus 0.25 units. I'm 7-11 on the season. It hurts. Pain.
It's pain.
It stinks. But on a good note, Blake had a good week. And I feel like there's kind of like a leveler that plays out every week. There is yet to be in a week where we both do well. It's either Gabe has a winning week or Blake has a winning week. The other guy has a bad week. We can't be on the same page, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But Blake, we'll start with your game pick. You had minus 2.5 for the Bengals. They clutched that up. They won by 4 against the Seahawks. Low scoring game. Seemed to be the theme for the week, but looked good. Any thoughts?
I mean, it played out how I thought it would. Close till the end. Luckily, since he pulled it out, their defense clutched up because their offense was kind of mid. So,
yeah. That's pretty much how it went down. Unfortunately, you did have another bet on that same exact game. Ended right on the hook. You had Jamar Chase over 85.5 receiving yards. He had 80 exactly. So again, right on the hook. You were 6 yards short, which really stunk because I think you had like 64 going in the halftime. Yeah. So you're right there.
Yeah, unfortunate. He missed it by a couple, but I mean, not going to win them all. So, what are you going to do about it? Not much.
The good news is you had a 2-1 week, so your lock of the week hit easily. You had Mostert over 69.5 rushing yards, shattered it.
Yeah, I mean he played one of the worst rush defenses in the league, and I expected the Dolphins to expose it, and they did by a lot. So he had a good game.
Which is good. So if you take out all Blake's picks here, you went positive 0.7. So Blake is now sitting at an even 9-9, sitting at exactly 500 on the season. You are currently down 0.57 units. So you're right there. All you got to do is string together one good week, and you're right back in the positive, buddy.
Yeah, almost there. One good week away, 2 in 1 week, and we're there. So
love to see it. Love to see it. Real quick, again, we always track these just for fun. Our TD parlay, our joint TD parlay, where we both just pick one guy to score a touchdown just because they're fun. Neither of them hit. We went 0-2 on that. We had Josh Jacobs touchdown. Nope. And then DJ Moore, never stood a chance. So we're 0-2 on those on the week. For our Shame-Ful locks, our best bets, essentially, Blake is 2-0, and I fall to 1-1. But that's enough recapping. I'd like to move forward if we could. And move on to week 7. So week 7 here, we get a lot of bye weeks, actually.
Yeah.
There are 6 teams on byes, so a lot less games going on this week. I think there's only 13 games this weekend, I counted.
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking here, Panthers, Bengals, Cowboys, Texans, Jets, and Titans are all on a bye this. So we will not be betting on them. But, it's probably for the best. Those teams, most of them, stink. I'll say it. But yeah, week 7. Blake, you want to start or me? I'll let you pick again.
Well, I let you start last week and you went 0-3. So I'll start this week. I'll be nice. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Enjoy your 0-3 week, buddy.
All right. So for my first bet, we're going to take Travis Kelce over 72.5 receiving yards. And that is at minus 115 on DraftKings. The Chiefs, they play the Chargers, and one thing about those games is they're always high scoring. Like each team usually puts up 21 plus. And then last week, Kelce, he had I think 126 receiving yards, so he's coming off his best game of the year by far. It's been kind of underwhelming this year. I know he's had some injuries, but the Chargers give up the most receiving yards a game, which going against Patrick Mahomes, that's a bad recipe. Bad recipe for the Chargers defense. And then out of the past 7 times he's played the Chargers, he's gone over this mark of 72.5 5 times. So he does like playing against the Chargers and usually gets the ball a lot. So I think it's going to be a shootout. I think they're going to be going back and forth, scoring a lot of points. And I think Travis has a day. So that's my pick.
I like that. Yeah, I remember a good buddy of mine, they played last Thursday against the Broncos, and he was like, yeah, Kelsey's going for over 100 yards. I was like, you're stupid. And then he went for like 140. So I look like the stupid idiot there.
Yeah.
But yeah, 72, very doable by Mr. Travis Kelce. And the Chargers defense is not the best either.
Indeed.
Yeah. I like that. And again, I just want to point this out real quick because I noticed that this could be a distraction. My Halloween costume is in the background. I am going as a bear this year. I'm a diehard bear fan. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going as a bear from some horror movie. Midsummer, actually. Don't know if anyone's ever seen that, but that's what I'm going to go as. But less of that, more bit gambling talk. So I'm going with my game pick to start our picks here for me. I'm going to go to Lions money line this week at plus 140. I got that at Bet365 this morning. The Lions are playing at the Ravens this week. And to start here, this is more of a gut pick. I'm doing less research because I did so much research last week and it led me to an 0-3 week, and it was the worst gambling weekend I've ever had. It hurt really bad, and it stung a little bit extra more because I had spent so much time researching those picks, and it just really hurt to know that I'd put so much effort into it, and the result was as bad as it could have possibly have been. So we're moving on. We're going to go here. A little gut pick here. Lions are 5-1, traveling to the 4-2 Ravens this week. It is at Ravens, like I just mentioned. And I think the books aren't on to the Lions yet to start. I think the Lions are pretty legit, man. They have a solid defense. I think Jared Goff is the real deal so far this year. I just think the Lions, honestly, I think they're the 3rd best team in the NFC. I'll say it. They're right behind the Eagles and the 49ers. I think they're definitely going to be a playoff contender if they can keep up their current success. But the Lions have won their last 4 games by at least 14 points, and they are red hot and dominating. I think we owe a lot of credit to that to their coach, Dan Campbell. He's done a great job of building them up from nothing and building them up into be the team they are. But I think they're really good, and I just don't think Vegas is giving them the respect they deserve yet. This is also probably, I'm a little biased here, but I hate the Ravens. The Ravens are one of the most overrated teams in the league, in my opinion, and there's definitely some bias to that because I'm a Steelers fan. I can't stand the Ravens. They're one of my least favorite teams. But the Ravens this season have been tending to shoot themselves in the foot, especially when they a little later in games they let teams hang around when they easily could have put them away. And the Ravens have already lost 2 games this year to teams that are not very good. One of them being our Steelers, which we Steelers had no business winning that game, man. We were outplayed all game long, and then some lucky bullshit at the end. But then they also lost to the Colts with Gardner Minshew a few weeks ago in overtime, which a game they were up in that game for almost the entire game, and they let the Colts come back and win it in OT. I know Justin Tucker, I think, missed like a go-ahead field goal, which that will never happen again, just because he's the best kicker of all time. But I just think the Lions are better than the Ravens, and if you're going to give me plus money for the team I think is better, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, honestly, I love that you're going with your feeling now instead of stats, because that's what I mentioned that last week, and I think it's huge. Like, you really got to try to dig in and see how a team's feeling and how they're playing. And I didn't know that they've won their past, what'd you say, 4 games by 14 plus points. Like,
yeah. To be fair, they haven't played the greatest competition.
Yeah,
they played like Panthers, Buccaneers, but still, yeah, right.
It's the NFL, man. Like, everyone can compete, everyone can win games. So yeah.
Any given Sunday.
True. So I'll move on to my game pick, and I'm going to stay on that same vibe of, type of feeling you're getting, and not necessarily on stats. So I'm taking the New York Football Giants money line versus the Commanders. And I got this line at plus 130 on DraftKings. Listen, I know so far the Giants have sucked this year, but they've been heavily injured, and I'm doing this all based on feel. So last week they go into Buffalo, and they put up a really good fight. Their defense balls out. They're all up in Josh Allen's grill. They're scrappy. They're fighting. That's as bad as they are. That's a good sign from a team showing that they want to compete and they want to win games, even though they're already 1-4 at that time. So yeah, I think Danny Dimes is coming back. I think that'll help a lot. He'll be healthy. Saquon was back last week. He played pretty well. He had a couple long runs on like their last series or whatever, the second last series. He'll be a week healthier. And then personally, I think the Commanders are frauds. They're 3-3. They've beat up on some pretty bad teams. I think their coach is very mediocre. I don't think they really have any studs besides a couple of their receivers, a couple of their D linemen. And the big thing is it's not a primetime game, so the Giants will have a chance because they never win primetime games. So I think it's a 1:00 game. So I think the Giants are going to go out and it's going to be a dogfight, but I think they're going to win. So that's what I'm feeling.
I like it. And plus money. I mean, plus money is plus money. We love those kind of bets. It feels good because I feel like those games are always really close. I think the Giants swept the Commanders last year. So that's good.
I think they tied the first game, actually.
Oh, that's right. They totally tied. That's right. You're totally right. My apologies. I suck. But yeah, screw the commies. Go Giants,
Might as well.
All right. That'll take me over to my second pick. It's going to be my game pick this week. And it might shock some people, but I'm not taking an Ohio State player. I know that can be shocking to some. Unfortunately, I don't try to purposely do that, but I'm not doing it this week. I'm going Cooper Kupp over 90.5 receiving yards. I got this at minus 115 on DraftKings. I'm going to start with Cooper Kupp is back, baby. He missed the first 4 weeks with an injury. He was on IR, and he's coming back with a vengeance, man. He has been statistically on a tear for the first 2 games he's been back. He plays for the Rams, and they are at home against the Steelers this week. Our beloved Steelers. And our beloved Steelers, their secondary is the definition of that meme of that guy going, I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked. They're trash against wide receiver ones this year, man. I'll give you some stats here in a second, but whenever they see a true wide receiver one, they barbecue chicken alert. That's all I can say.
Barbecue chicken.
But we'll start with Cup's last two games. He's played phenomenal. Last week, he had 7 catches for 148 yards against the Cardinals. And the week before that, he had 8 catches for 118 yards against the Eagles. He's had 15 catches on 21 targets. In the first 2 games he's been back, dude is an absolute stud, beast, whatever you want to call him. The Rams love to throw the ball. Matthew Stafford throws the ball like more than anyone I know, man. They probably too much, but that's probably because they don't really have a run game. It is actually funny. Our buddy Shane, your brother, has was it? I don't know his first name. It's Kieran Williams or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But anyway, he's actually been a kind of stud. Like he had a good week last week, and then he just I guess he hurt his ankle or something like right at the end of the game, so he's out. And I also read that the Rams' second string running back is going to be out, so the Rams will be under third string running back this week, from what I'm hearing. And you know what that means? You're going to throw the ball. You don't like trusting the third string running back to do too much for you. But I also love this matchup because of the I also love this pick because of the matchup. Sorry about that. Steelers have been getting torched, like I mentioned, versus true wide receiver ones. I'll read you the stats here. Week 1, they played the 49ers. Brandon Ayuk had 8 catches, 129 yards in a blowout, 30-7. Week 2, Steelers played the Browns. They played Amari Cooper. I would argue he's a true wide receiver one. 7 catches, 90 yards. Week 3, worst one of them yet. They played the Raiders, and they had Devontae Adams go off for 13 catches, 172 yards. Week 4, Texans, another blowout. We stink. Nico Collins, 7 catches, 168 yards. And then Steelers were on a bye last week, but the week before that, they played the Ravens, which this one, it probably should have been higher than it was, but the Ravens guys just kind of cold of can't catch balls all of a sudden. Zay Flowers, I'd argue, is probably their wide receiver one right now. 5 catches, 73 yards. Maybe if he doesn't drop 6 passes, probably way more. But like I mentioned, the Steelers, we always get a lot of credit for our defense being really good, but for some reason this season comes to a wide receiver one, can't even get close to them. They torch us every game. So if somebody were to tell me that Cooper Kupp was going out for 200 this weekend, I wouldn't be that surprised. I hate to say it, I wouldn't be shocked. But again, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully he just gets us over this 90.5. They love to feed Kupp, and I think that'll continue to happen. Yeah,
I mean, Sean McVay's a good coach. He's going to absolutely cook Patrick Peterson and Levi Wallace. I mean, those 2 guys, they should not be on the field right now. But in JPJ and some other guy. Anyways, that's enough ranting about Steelers.
It makes me angry.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be relying on the passing game. They got 3rd round running back probably off the practice squad. But this is good for my long-term bet that he's cooking because I need Kupp over like 1,250 yards or something like that. So I do like that he's cooking up a little bit.
It's 1,225.5 is what you need.
Yeah, so he needs to keep cooking, and that's looking good. So
nice. Shameful lock time. Let's hear it.
All right, my shameful lock. I have Kenneth Walker over 77.5 rushing yards, and I got that at -115 on DraftKings. So Seahawks are playing the Arizona Cardinals, and the Arizona Cardinals have one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. I think they give up, the 4th most rushing yards a game. So Kenneth Walker, he's been averaging about 18 carries over the last 4 games. So, I mean, they're feeding him. But he's only gone over this 72.5 yard marker twice this year, which is kind of crazy to me, considering like how good of a running back he is and how dominant he can be. So Arizona, throughout this year, they've given up over 77.5 rush yards to running back runs and running back ones in 4 of 6 games this year. So I think it's going to be a bounce back game for Seattle, and I'm expecting them to pretty much dominate Arizona.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I think that'd be a favorable game script for you. Usually you're winning, you want to try to run the ball. So I like that. And to mention, you are, again, I'm not going to wood here, my desk is wood. You are 2-0 in your shameful locks, so your best bets essentially. And you have both picked a running back over prop both times. So why not go for the 3-peat,
Yeah. Love it.
Love it.
Yep. Love it.
All All right. For my shameful lock, I usually try to do something like a little same game parlay or something like that. But then it got a little too cute and it didn't work out too well for me last week. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going back to another game pick. And this is, again, I'm just going with I watch a lot of football. I'm going to my football IQ and get a little gut feeling here for me. So I'm going with the Buccaneers -2.5 versus the Falcons this week. I got this at -110 at BetMGM. And I think we need to give the Buccaneers a little bit more credit than they've been getting. The Falcons, I mean, you know me, I love the dog on the Falcons. I hate their quarterback. I think Desmond Ridder sucks ass. But that aside, I think the Buccaneers are actually a legitimate. Everyone thought they were going to be trash this year, but their defense is real. Their offense, average, maybe above average, but I don't think we're going to need that much. Like I said, the Bucs have a really solid D. 4 out of the last 5 games, they've held their opponent to 20 or less points so far this season. And they only have 2 losses so far this year, and they came to legitimate teams. They've lost to the Eagles and the Lions. They lost pretty badly to both those teams, but like I just mentioned earlier, I think those are 2 of the best teams in the NFC. So outside of the Eagles, no one has been able to run the ball on the Buccaneers at all this year. I think everybody's had less than like 60 yards on them, unless you take out the Eagles. The Eagles ran all over them, but it's the Eagles.
Yeah.
But I think that the Falcons offense really relies on running the ball with stupid Tyler Algier. Should give it to Bijan more, but that's just my opinion. But either way, I think if they can't run the ball, they'll have to rely on the check down King, Desmond Ridder to throw the ball. And I think we've all seen how that goes. Desmond Ridder sucks ass, and he's only had 1 good game in his NFL career, in my opinion. I'm just really low on him. So I think the Falcons will definitely lose by a field goal here. The Falcons have a decent D, but I think the Buccaneers offense should be able to win that battle just because they've got solid weapons. They've got Mike Evans, they've got Chris Godwin, they got Rashad White. Baker's having a up year for Baker. So give me the Buccaneers to win by 3.
Yeah, I think the Bucs are. I think they're a French playoff team, but they're definitely better than the Falcons. Yeah, Desmond check down King Ritter. He's not going to torch this defense. They probably won't be able to run either. So all your points are valid. Who's home in that matchup?
It is Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. Okay. Yeah, I mean playing down in Florida, weather might be a little bit of a factor. So yeah. So overall, I like it.
Nice. So that'll conclude our shameful locks of the week. But you know what that's time for is our joint TD parlay. We'll both pick a guy. We parlay it just to see. Hey, we had 2 guys we enjoyed or like to see score a touchdown this week. Unfortunately, if you have tailed this, we are 0-2. But again, we're not putting this towards our overall records, just for fun. It'd be cool to brag about. Be like, hey, look, I won a cool touchdown parlay this weekend. I'll let you start.
All right. So once again, I'm going off feel. I'm going to go Saquon, and I don't know what the odds were on that. I think Gabe.
I think it was -125
for Saquon.
Oh no, sorry, mine was -125. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Yours was +120. My apologies.
Okay, +120 for Saquon. I think that's good value. Yeah, that's my pick.
I like it. Saquon hasn't gotten the end zone in a few weeks. I think he's due. Like you said, you like the Giants this weekend, so it backs your own evidence you already had. For my leg of the touchdown parlay, I'm going to Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. You can get this around -120 in a few different books right now. But Hurts has 5 rushing touchdowns so far this year. He's scored in 4 of the last 5 games. And I think anytime the Eagles get the ball inside the 2-yard line, it's a guarantee that he's going to score with a little tush-push action. Free touchdown in my eyes if they get inside the 2. Parlay, Saquon, and Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. We got this for +303 on Bet365. We're due to win one of these. Again, they're just for fun, not a record. But as Blake loves to say, we're due.
We're not even due. We're overdue. So, so it's bound to win. So sprinkle a unit on it. Why not?
Yeah, and definitely we'll put a little few bucks on that. But yeah, outside of N.F.L. this weekend, we got some other good stuff going on. We got Ohio State plays Penn State. Hopefully, Ohio State takes care of business. We're both Buckeye fans. NBA is back next week, so that'll be cool. That starts up on Tuesday. Big Cavs and Knicks guy over here, Blake. I don't know if you're excited about that as I am, but I look forward to that. Fun to gamble on.
Yeah, I mean it's not relevant to me until after the NFL season. So
That's fair. That's very valid point. I think that I usually get really depressed when the NFL season ends, but the NBA season kept me sane for another month or two, and then I go, fuck, I'm really bored. But that probably goes to other issues like gambling.
Yeah, definitely helps that.
But yeah, that'll wrap us up for week 7. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you want to leave us some hate mail, some good luck, like our picks, let us know. Drop them in the comments. Share with your friends. Tell them, hey, look at these two goons. They suck. Let's laugh at them. Do that if you want. Sure.
Yeah. Make fun of us. Say something in the comments. So why not?
Let's see it. All right. Good luck on your best this weekend, and hopefully we come back and we're both 3-0. It's yet to happen, but as Blake said, we're overdue. That'll wrap us up.